welcome to Skid Row's Racing. Today, we're going to see if it was worth it to put the headers on that here at this nice little drift event. Should be grand. I'm excited to see how it does. Okay, so it's covered in my other videos, but what this is, it's a M52TU with a stock ECU, and basically nothing else done to it. The exhaust is just the eBay style headers, which a couple videos ago I showed what I had to do to make those fit because they weren't really for this car. And then it goes to 2 stock resonators in the stock exhaust system. Then it used to just route out. In my last video, I talked about how it sounded terrible and demonstrated that and added a resonator, and it's better. So feel free to check that out if you want. And what we're going to do today, we're at an actual drift event, and just going to find out if it was worth it, or you know, make sure it runs right and all that stuff. I really hope it does. I think it will. So stay tuned. Okay, so it feels a lot spicier, like a lot. I don't know if it's because the last drift event I was driving the Miata, but I'm liking it. I don't love how it sounds, but it's acceptable. So, yeah, see how it does the rest of the weekend. and stuff on the track, I guess. But there's many spots where I would have found myself clutch kicking before to like really try to stay with the faster drivers and faster cars, where I no longer had to. So definitely worth it. And the car, like, it broke 100 degrees during some of the drifting outside. And yeah, I was going in to dunk the tires in the water box every lap, which is why they didn't, you know, suffer premature delamination. I thought I was going to say something else. Yeah, the car never broke operating temperature. And I think that is largely due to these headers just let more air out more easily and create less heat than the stock setup. And the other thing is, I did change up the intake a little bit. It used to kind of like jolt the intake boot sideways a little bit. Now it sits straight, so it lets more air in, more air out in theory. Obviously the ECU and the fuel injectors and all that is the limitation because it's all stock as far as that goes. But if you're wondering if it's worth it to put headers on a stock M52TU, will it make a difference? Yes, it will. It will not blow your mind, but you know, I got those at the right price. They were a pain to install, but I think it was worth every penny. Like, even just for how much cooler the car is. Pulling it into the pits after, you know, running it on the track for a while, the car didn't feel like it emanated as much heat as it used to. Like, maybe I'm crazy, I didn't use some kind of laser thermometer or something, but it felt like it was running cooler. Got a lot of good laps in. Wanted to thank our buddies from Club Rowdy, mainly Johnny and Isaiah, because they ran a great event. Super glad we got to go, and hopefully they get more events in someday, and we'll get more tandos in with them. And oh, I broke an axle. Maybe I'll show that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and good evening from Skid Row's Racing.